this is Alison and today's video is a demonstration of our new Stampin' trimmer. I love this trimmer and I know you will too. I've been waiting since the catalog came out to purchase it, and as a demonstrator there was a pre-order for us. So it will be available to customers sometime in November, but if you're a demonstrator you can get it right away. So let me get started and show you some of the fun things that are included and how Stampin' Up! Has really thought about the benefits that they could add to this trimmer. Let's get started. When you open it up, you're going to have an instruction book, so that's very helpful. And you're also going to have a sticker here that says, please remove all film. You know when you buy like a TV or a screen or even a washing machine, sometimes they have like a protective covering on it, just a light plastic, just to protect it during shipment, and that's the same as the trimmer. So you're going to peel that off, and you're also going to peel off these little pieces of film that you can see I'm peeling off the side here. Just looks like that. And I've already peeled the one off. I've already peeled the one off of the main platform here, and there's one still on the little pull-out arm, and I'll just show you how to you just start it like that, and then you just pull it and it comes off. So one of the first features you're going to notice is that on the old style trimmers from years ago, this would rub off after a while and the numbers would rub off. This has got a protective coating on it. These will never rub off, which is awesome. The main platform here has grids, it almost looks like a graph table, like a graph piece of paper, and those are marked at every 1/4 inch, both vertically and horizontally, which is awesome. And then at the top here you'll see the regular measurements, and they're in 1/16. So there's no reason you can't get a really nice precise cut. The other thing that I really love is that off to this side, to the right side, it's also marked at 1/4 inches, and up until 1.5, it looks like 1.5 inches, there is markings. So I really like that too, because sometimes you just want to make a small cut and it's a lot easier to do it on this side than this side. The other things that it's got is obviously the long arm here, but it locks into place. So you can, there's a little lock at the top, you just click it towards the arm and it locks, and you click it away from it and it opens. It has 2 blades, and these are replaceable. The darker blade is for cutting and the lighter blade is for scoring, and the way to remember that is lighter is a lighter touch and darker is a darker touch, so a stronger touch. So lighter touch means just a score, heavier touch cuts right through your cardstock. The other thing that's awesome is that you can cut a full piece of 12 by 12 cardstock on this cutter, because the cutting blades slide either to the bottom and off the cutting surface or to the top. So you've got this entire space to cut, which is really great. Really simple to change the blades. I'm not sure if you can see this on the video, but there's a little kind of opening here, and you just slide your blade down to that opening and then it just pops out and then pops back in. So really simple. The thing I really love, one of the things I really love, is that this goes right to 6 1/4 inches on the top platform here. In the old styles, it was really difficult to get that 5.5 inch cut or a 6 inch cut. The most common cuts that I make are 4 1/4 and 5.5, and so I don't even have to open my extending arm and I can get a really nice cut. But if I have to cut a larger piece, I can open my extender arm, snaps into place, and this goes right to 14.5 inches on this side, which is awesome. It's got a little foot here, so it provides terrific stability when you're cutting larger pieces. Love that. Let me just show you how it works. You take your piece of cardstock and just put it right up on butt it right up against the end here. And if I want a 3 inch cut, I can just, and it cuts it beautifully. If I want to score it, I can move my cutting blade out of the way, and I can bring up my lighter colored blade, remember, is the scoring blade, and I can score my cardstock. So really simple. The other thing that I do a lot of is cutting out pieces. So for instance, if I look at this card, I've got a cutout where the snowman is. Here's one with a cutout where I've stamped some ornaments. And to get this little cutout in the middle sometimes can be difficult. But I've always loved this style of cutter because you can easily cut this out, and let me show you how. So I'm going to take a piece of cardstock and I'm going to decide where I want to cut my opening. So let's say I want to cut it at 2 inches. Let's say I want to leave an inch from each side here. So this is a 4 1/4 inch across. So at 3 1/4 inches, I'm going to come in here, and there are numbers on my spine here that I can easily see. And I want to cut from 1 inch from the bottom, which is 5 1/2. So I'm going to start at 4 1/2, and I'm going to use my cutting blade, and I'm going to just bring it down here to 4 1/2. Little arrow indicates where the blade is. I'm going to press it into my cardstock right there, and I can go all the way up to 1 inch. I'm going to just turn my cardstock, and I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. I want to go 1 inch in. So I'm going to use this other side here and put my edge on the 1 inch, which is why I love this, that it's on both sides here. I'm going to start again at 1 inch, and I'm going to go down to 4 1/2 inches. And then lastly, I'm going to turn it again, and I'm going to go this time, because I've got 4 1/4 this way, I'm going to go 3 1/4 to 1 inch. I'm just stopping where my arrow hits where the first cut was already made. I can turn this again on the 1 inch, and I can come all the way down here, and I can press in and cut up. And that's how you get a frame cut out of your cardstock, just like that. So I really love that these kinds of cutters are able to do that. The last feature I want to show you on the front is when you lift up your cutting arm, you've got this removable, it's almost like a little groove where your cutting blade is going to be running up. So it's cutting through the paper, but it's going beyond the paper into these little grooves. And there's 2 sides to this. So what you want to do is, if you're finding that your cuts are getting, not as sharp or not as precise, just turn this over to the other side and use the other side. There have been times where if I do a lot of cutting at this part, at this top of the platform, I can actually get 4 uses out of this. I can take it and rotate it, and I'm using this part of it, which isn't as worn as the bottom part. So do all 4 turns before you replace this little, I don't know what you'd call it, but before you replace it. So I want to turn this over, and in order to do that, I'm just going to lock it so that this arm doesn't fling around, and I can turn my whole cutter over. And on the back, you're going to see that there's this compartment here, which is really awesome. You just push these little tabs here. This opens up. Turn it around for you to see. I don't have anything in here yet because I just got it yesterday, but I'm going to put my bone folder in here. I'm going to put my eraser, my little adhesive eraser here. I can put some business cards when I go to people's homes to show them how to stamp. I'll have business cards with me. And I can put extra blades in here also. So there's lots of things that you could just put in here and keep it for storage, so you've always got it with your cutter. And that just closes. So that's the new cutter from Stampin' Up. It's available in November to customers. The precise date hasn't been announced, but when it is, I'll certainly let you know. Just check out on my blog. I know you'll love it as much as I do. It is the perfect companion to our tabletop cutter and to our Simply Scored tool. So please contact me, and I'd love to show it to you in person. Thanks so much, and happy stamping.